multiple offers, highest and best, appraisal addendum. If you have been buying or selling a home in 2021, more than likely you've heard these terms. But for those of you who are about to jump into the spring market, you may want to familiarize yourself with how appraisals work, because it's not just a matter of buyers finding a seller who will accept their offer over the 9 other offers they've received. And if you are the seller, it's not just about finding the highest offer presented, because the home still has to appraise. So here are a few tips to understand how the appraisal process works and how to avoid having your appraisal trip up your closing. Hi, I'm Karen Torres, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel, Move Me to Dallas, where we will discuss living in the Dallas Metroplex, surrounding suburbs, and all that it has to offer. I've been a realtor with Ebby Halliday for 10 years and was born and raised in the North Texas area, so I would be honored to introduce you to this wonderful area that I call home. Real estate markets aren't static, right? So when a market is as hot as the current one, it presents problems for home buyers and sellers. As you have probably already heard, the housing market is on fire right now, which is causing a lot of buyers to feel they need to offer sometimes substantially more than the asking price in order to be competitive with the multiple offers coming in. But here's what happens if an offer is accepted. The buyer's lender will be sending an appraiser out to the home, and they will gather all the information needed to compare it to other homes that have recently sold to determine its value. For this method to produce reliable results, however, the market must be active with enough recent sales to use as comparables. When a market is overactive, with home prices rising rapidly like the current market, problems arise. When a home sells, prices may rise between that sale and the time your home hits the market, but there is no comparable sale for the appraiser to use. Does the appraiser base the value of your home on the pre-price rise in sales? Sadly, the answer is yes. The strongest indicators of current value are those comps which have closed within the past 90 days, but pending sales and listings are only used on the appraisal report to show what the current market is doing and where it's headed. Unfortunately, appraisers do not consider pending sales or listings in their final opinion of value. When historical data lags the market's reality, agreed upon prices and appraised value often don't match. So what is the solution? Well, one way to mitigate the challenges of a red-hot housing market is to get your ducks in a row before the appraisal. First off, sellers, make sure your realtor goes over the third-party financing addendum with you so you clearly understand the pros and cons of each offer that has been submitted. Examples of things that you might want to look for would be to see how much the buyer is planning on putting down. This matters. If the appraisal comes in low, will the buyer have room to adjust what they are putting down in order to offset a low appraisal value? Or is the buyer only putting the bare minimum down? This is why sometimes the highest offer isn't always the best. Look at all of the terms of the contract. Take inventory of any upgrades and other improvements you've made to the home. It's helpful to create an itemized list of them and the dates that they were done, and include a copy of invoices if possible. Have these available for your realtor so she can provide a thorough case to the appraiser as to why your home is priced as it is. If the appraisal of your home comes in lower than the negotiated sales price on the contract, the appraisal can be challenged, but I can tell you it very rarely changes the result once the appraisal has been submitted. So don't leave the appraiser in the dark about your improvements, and make sure your realtor is submitting all the positives about your home to the appraiser before the appraisal is done. Finally, fiery real estate markets such as what we are experiencing right now are a dream come true for sellers, unless prices are rising so fast that the market can't keep up. I cannot express how important it is to have an experienced realtor helping you through this process. When making your decision on who you want representing you, you want to be certain they have the knowledge and persistence to ensure they are providing future appraisers with accurate comps and detailed information about your home to support your pricing. And I, for one, will 100% take every opportunity possible to ensure the appraiser is fully informed on the merits of your home. Hope you have found this information helpful. My goal is to provide valuable info every week, so tune in next Thursday to learn something about the Dallas housing market. Comment below if you have any questions or suggestions on topics that you would be interested in hearing about. See you next week.